Guys, Megumi's dad finally came back with the milk. I can't believe it. Toji Zenin is finally back in the story and he's definitely gonna f shit up. This man didn't only come back with the milk, but he also grabbed his belt and started whooping ass already. God damn. He was probably having flashbacks to those endless child support and alimony payments he missed. But man, Ino literally f***ed around and found out, because he should have taken out that granny and her nephew when he had the chance. Megumi must really be blessed to see his dad again after all these years. The crazy thing about this whole situation is that Gojo probably didn't tell any of his students or anyone else other than Shoko and Yaga about Toji. You would think that Gojo would at least tell the story of the famous sorcerer killer, but this guy is so egotistical that he would never tell that story because he wants to uphold his reputation as the strongest. Just imagine if Gojo never got sealed and he saw Toji again. That would be a very awkward conversation with Megumi. Megumi, a long time ago when I was your age, your dad was hired to kill me and he almost did, until I became a god and I started smoking that Toji pack. No hard feelings, right?
Don't mind.
I swear, if Gojo saw both Toji and fake Geto in Shibuya, he might just end the series there and then. He really can't catch a break, no cap. But besides the Toji stuff, this episode is probably one of the cleanest episodes I've ever watched from JJK, and definitely for this season. Not only was the animation movie-like, but the movements of the characters were so smooth, especially the scene of Yuji tying up Awasaka with that rope. That shit was hard. Like, that was some Spider-Man shit, and that was just so fitting because this is Spider-Man month, you know what I'm saying? The coloring and the lighting of that scene fit really well, but the scenes with Ino in particular was so cold as well, because after seeing him in JJK 0, I was hella excited at how he was going to be adapted in Shibuya, and I wasn't disappointed, man. Like, I will be honest, there were a lot of close-ups during his scenes, but it wasn't that bad in my opinion. After they discovered the position of where the curtain was being cast from, Yuji and Megumi take on Awasaka while Ino takes on Granny Chiyo. And as we saw from last week's episode, Ino was put in charge of Yuji and Megumi, and we also get some more context for him and Nanami's relationship. As it stands right now, he currently sits at a grade 2 sorcerer level, and he wants to move on to the next grade, but only by Nanami's approval, because Nanami is his role model. To give some props to Ino, he is actually a very capable sorcerer, but because of confidence issues, he chooses to settle at where he is currently. His curse technique is called Auspicious Beast Summon, which allows him to become a spiritual medium for 4 beasts and inherit their powers just as long as he hides his face. He was the perfect person to fight these two characters because his technique and Granny Ogami's are very similar. The only difference is that Granny Ogami needs the DNA of the person she wants to summon for the ritual. So in essence, she summons the person's soul into the body and the appearance of the person summoned. And fam, Ino was putting in work against her grandson, but it was just unfortunate that Toji was the one summoned. Like, he got the worst matchup of his life. Yuji and Megumi's fight, on the other hand, was very cool. And I just realized that this is the first time where Yuji and Megumi have properly teamed up to fight somebody. And these two complement each other's fighting styles very well, especially when you combine Yuji's physicality with Fushiguro's intelligence. During this episode, seeing the way Megumi was able to study Awasaka's technique and deduce his weaknesses, it really makes us understand why he has one of the highest potentials in the series, because not only is the 10 Shadows technique OP, but his intellect is what enabled them to win that fight. And I'm not gonna hold you guys, you know, Mr. Monopoly's technique over here is straight out of My Hero Academia, no word of a lie. He has a technique which makes strong attacks weak and weak attacks strong. I know I'm clowning him, but seriously, he was quite clever the way he was using his technique by trying to make it seem like he was invulnerable by tanking attacks from the Divine Dog and the Max Elephant. We did learn a bit about these two in a flashback, and again, it wouldn't be JJK if they didn't glaze Gojo, because we got a scene of them on a mission to assassinate Kid Gojo. Bro, Gojo was just walking, minding his own business, and was just looking at them like, come and do something. The fabric of society changed with his birth because he was the first person born of the Six Eyes and the Limitless in 400 years. So naturally, curses are going to get stronger, which makes a lot of sense to combat someone like like Gojo, but Gojo is so above everything that it doesn't even matter. Like, this guy was taking on special grade curses at the Shibuya station like it was nothing when Yuji and Todo struggled to take one. So bro, it don't really mean shit. This episode should have been called Jujutsu Kaisen because Megumi and Yuji did that man dirty. That shit was so epic, man. The way they were both punching him at the same time. That OST they played was the same OST they used when Yuji and Todo were jumping Hanami. And bro, that's officially the jumping OST. I don't care what no one says, bro. They were able to take him down, and the animation they used during that scene was great, especially with the impact animation that you see. That was so clean, bro. And man just knocked him out with a little tap on the nose. That's just funny, man. This episode was very good, man. It was so smooth. Like, animation was great in my opinion. Toji is finally back in the series and he's gonna f you up. I'm not even gonna say anything else, you know what I mean? You're gonna see what he's gonna do. It's just gonna be interesting now that Toji's in the story, because especially with Gojo gone, this is just one of the many things which are gonna happen in this arc. Next week's episode is gonna focus on Nanami and the group, so we're gonna get to see that, what they're dealing with. And guys, is it just me or does it seem like the Shibuya arc is very slow? You know what I mean? Because when I read this in the manga, it seemed so much more fast paced. I don't know if it's because of the way I was reading it, but in the anime things seem to be much more at a slower pace. I don't know if it's because Gojo just got sealed or if it's because of direction. You know, it's not really impacting the season for me. Guys, I'm just hoping that as the season continues, that the pacing becomes a bit better and starts to smoothen a bit more. Let me know down in the comments what you thought about the episode. And as always, like, share, subscribe, and until next week, stay blessed.